There was an extraordinary moment in Washington on Wednesday when the president held a rally outside the White House to contest the election. He said he would refuse to concede.
We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
And he implored his thousands of cheering supporters to march down Pennsylvania Avenue to the Capitol.
Everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building.
They took him at his word. They went to the Capitol and then they breached the barricades. They stormed the Capitol. They sacked the Capitol. They vandalized offices. They injured police officers. There was a riot.
Trump was a man alone, a man isolated. He was back at the White House. He was raging and fuming. He was absolutely furious, as he said in his remarks to the mob before it started and in tweets afterwards. Furious with his vice president, Mike Pence, for not doing something that Mike Pence doesn't even have the power to do if he wanted to, which is to overturn the election results. And so he was watching the coverage and just stewing and feeling sorry for himself and generally surrounding himself with an increasingly small group of people who encourage his worst instincts and share his dangerous worldview.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called on Vice President Pence and members of the cabinet to immediately invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office.
If the Vice President and the cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment.
The 25th Amendment of the Constitution allows the cabinet and the vice president to decide to remove the president from office forcibly. It would be in effect immediately, and it would be if the president is deemed unfit to serve.
Pence has been sort of loyal to the point of subservience, obsequiousness, and mockery to Trump for 4 years. He has gone out of his way to never disagree with him in public. The breakdown occurred because Mike Pence, in this case, sort of when forced to choose between two masters, the president and the Constitution, he chose to uphold his constitutional responsibilities. And it's worth noting that Pence had no other choice.
We are hearing in our reporting that the discomfort and unease with what the president did goes very deep and very broad throughout the administration. We've only seen a few resignations so far, but many, many more people in the administration are discussing whether to resign, and some of them are actually going to stay on the job because they fear who Trump might replace them with.
One thing that is appealing to Democrats and frankly Republicans, even if they can't say as much, if you are impeached and then convicted, you are immediately removed from office, which Donald Trump is going to be leaving office anyhow on January 20th, but you cannot hold that office or any federal office again. So I think there is some appeal to this idea that Donald Trump could not do what he promises or threatens, depending on your point of view, to do, which is to run for re-election in 2024.
Our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.